how did you go about thinking about building your business starting in 2013? And then did you have instant success or did you have struggles? Kind of walk me through those first couple of years.
I kind of just fell into it on accident because in our neighborhood, which I live in the North Linden neighborhood, Kenmore Park, they're right near Oakland Park Nursery, up north. And we were having a lot of issues in our neighborhood, a lot of break-ins, a lot of property crime. And they had a block watch before, and my husband and I, he was available all the time. So he could kind of be the daily block watch guy that could drive around and look down the alleys. And we just really started getting involved in the neighborhood. We got on the Facebook groups, and we had the meetings in the neighborhood. And from there, I became a commissioner for the city, for the North Linden Area Commission. And I met a lot of people. And, it's really cool sitting on those boards of that type, because it gives you an inside look of what's coming your way. I was chair of the zoning committee, and that really worked with my real estate business because I knew, what was coming to the neighborhood and what was going to be built, and what was, the commissioners knew that all of the money the city was putting into the Linden area way before they announced it to the public. And that was something really cool. And I'm like, hey, I'm like down here in the roots of my neighborhood now, and I'm going to use this and I'm going to help the people. And that's what I've done. 80% of my sales are in my own zip code usually.
Oh, wow.
Depending on year. And a lot of it is from the area social media and getting involved and doing that kind of thing. So it kind of just fell on my lap of how my business is going. I have a hashtag that's Queen of the North. My husband came up with that from Game of Thrones. And I'm like, so I started using it, and actually everybody uses it now. And my clients, actually got a screenshot yesterday of somebody on a Hilliard Facebook group wanting to list their Linden home, and people were recommending me on a Hilliard page. And it's like, well, that's pretty cool, because that was my goal, is to neighborhood or market myself as the area specialist.
Yeah.
And that's what I like.
I think a lot of agents say they want that, but are too scared to actually commit to that. Right. Yep. It's like they, and there's nothing wrong with it either way. Right. But the fear is that they're afraid to go too narrow with that approach because there's not enough opportunities.
Well, I think what agents do right out of the box is they want to immediately go into these neighborhoods and sell $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 homes. If you set that goal, you're not going to succeed. Start where if you're heavily involved in your PTA at your kid's school, build your business around networking with teachers, networking with the school, networking with that. Or, if your kids are in football, network, do what you know and build on that. And so since I was so involved in the community and what was going on in my community, that's what I used to build it. I still love selling in Hocking Hills. I'm very knowledgeable about areas outside Columbus, but this is what I live and breathe. So that's what I used. But I love to sell elsewhere as well. So I think they need to just rein in their goals a little bit and start with what they know, and they will be successful quicker, in my opinion.
Yeah, I call them business pillars. I think we all need to have 2 to 3 business pillars, no more than 3. And one is just dangerous, right? And obviously one of those has to be your sphere of influence. But if you want to become what we call the neighborhood mayor, right? Where, you're basically the face of your subdivision or your neighborhood or your zip code, or, there's certain things that you need to be doing. Rayna, I'm curious for you, how long did it take? Was that just always the plan, was like, hey, I'm going to focus on, my zip code, my area?
No, not really. Well, my mentor that retired, we actually live in the same neighborhood, like 2 streets apart. And she would market the neighborhood because she'd been in it so long, so not stepping on any toes. I copied her marketing, but did it in another neighborhood. Well, then she retired. I kind of took that over, and it just kind of almost fell in my lap per se, but I was already involved enough, and I was just lucky enough to get to take over what was already there as far as marketing. And I got lucky when I started too, because all of my son's family, all his cousins were home buying age. So my first 10 transactions probably were with my ex-husband's family. So I got, and it just built on that. And now,
Yeah.
though, they have actually bought 2 houses with me because they've upgraded in that 10 years from their first to their second house. And it
Yeah.
was just building that sphere. And I got lucky to have a good solid sphere at the bottom.
I hope you listening in or watching caught that. She said, I copied the marketing, right? Not invented it herself. And I think
Exactly.
I've had this conversation with some agents recently. It's like, the fastest way to get to your goal is just modeling success of someone that's already doing it, right? Like, you don't have to try to figure it out on your own. It's just, if it's working
Do
for
not
that
reinvent the
person,
wheel.
if it's working for Rayna, it will work for you, right? If you want to go and dominate your 5-block area or your subdivision or whatever, reach out to Rayna. Ask her exactly what she's doing, right? Ask her what her
The key
schedule is like.
thing is consistency. It's consistency. You cannot do it for, I do a mailing every 6 months, and I've been doing that mailing for at least 7 years to these neighborhoods. I am just now reaping the benefits, and they're just now, putting together my face with I can do this and things like that. If they didn't know me before, one of my neighborhoods, it's all original owners. They're all in their 80s and 90s. They're aging out. They're passing away. They're moving into assisted living, and I've been marketing that neighborhood for 7 years, and I'm finally getting them, getting their trust because I've continuously sent stuff to them. Agents that give up after 1 or 2 things, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
It's not instant success at all.
What helped you with some of that patience?
I don't know. I guess just knowing that every time, what I do is I send a trash calendar schedule. So when it almost runs out, I have the old ladies calling me going, "Hey, Rayna, are you sending me another calendar? Because we love this calendar, because of course the trash, it changes with holidays." So, and it just, that's what kept me doing it. Is like, I'm getting these phone calls. People are counting on me. So I can't stop sending them now. I'm going to make all these little old ladies mad that don't want to get texts on their phone, or they don't have the app or whatever. And 90% of them don't. So, and that's what stuck.